this week's episode of Trojan Poetry. We're on episode 82. It's the big 80s.
That's right.
It's the big 80s. Right. All right. I've chosen the poem, the song, and the piece of art, the picture, this week.
You have outdone yourself.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. These are two of my favorite things to connect, and then I found this other one. Here it is. This is Margaret Atwood's song, The Landlady, and then we're going to hear a song by Tori, Amos, and look at a picture by Barbara Kruger. So here we go.
All right.
The Landlady by Margaret Atwood. This is the lair of the landlady. She is a raw voice loose in the rooms beneath me. The continuous henyard squabble going on below thought in this house like the bicker of blood through the head. She is everywhere, intrusive as the smells that bulge in under my doorsill. She presides over my meagre eating, generates the light for eyestrain. From her I rent my time. She slams my days like doors. Nothing is mine. And when I dream images of daring escapes through the snow, I find myself walking always over a vast face, which is the land, ladies, and wake up shouting. She is a bulk, a knot swollen in a space. Though I have tried to find some way around her, my senses are cluttered by perception and can't see through her. She stands there, a raucous fact blocking my way, immutable, a slab of what is real. Solid as bacon.
Really emphasize the B in bacon there. That's good.
I think if you ever want to make a person angry, a person of the female persuasion, perhaps many of them, tell them they are solid as bacon. Some people would appreciate that, right?
I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
I think there are quite a
greasy,
few.
You're sweating.
Yeah. Solid as bacon. That's
Solid
to me is one of the
bacon.
perfect lines. Like it just totally sums up who the landlady is.
Yes. Just total put down. I mean, just like drop the mic, walk away from this poem.
A slab of what is real.
That was immutable. A slab of what is real. I thought that would be the opposite of her job as a poet because it's all creation, it's all imagination on the page. But then she opens her door, and here's this insane, gigantic woman blocking her way, and all the different ways that she showed she's a bulk, a knot swollen in space.
The bicker of blood.
What is that?
Earlier.
Yeah, there's nothing
the
positive there.
Through the head. Mm-hmm. Man, you do not want to be renting from this landlady.
No, right.
I think that is.
Oh, nothing is mine. I thought that was nothing is mine. So does that mean she's actually coming into her apartment constantly?
Right, she could.
Or,
the smell is right,
slamming
and the sound is.
Yeah, so she feels like nothing is her. Maybe I guess she doesn't have to physically be there.
But she's a raw voice. She's the continuous henyard squabble going on below.
Yeah. A bicker of blood through the head. Yeah, the henyard squabble. I mean, that's I mean, just the way she describes this woman is
horrific.
Yes, right. And
horrific.
it's interesting because she's not quite a villain. I wouldn't say.
Right. She's the landlady.
She's just a horrible person to be around.
Or is it the narrator? Is it like an Edgar Allan Poe situation where the narrator is so
going
sensitive?
Way over the top.
Yeah.
Because she says she presides over my meagre eating, generates the light for eyestrain. So I don't know. So her lifestyle is totally different than that of the landlady, who is solid as bacon. Has had a couple slabs of bacon in her time, and I picture this tiny little skinny poet, writing away so sensitive, and then this landlady smashing stuff.
She's a knot swollen in space.
I guess if you're an introvert and you have someone like this in your space, it must be really stressful.
And just the way it's the lair of the landlady. Right? Like, this is so brutal. A brutal takedown of the landlady, but then again, I think you have to ask, what's going on with the narrator?
Right.
The speaker.
Why is she so sensitive to this? And is this like she rented the top floor of a house? Is this an apartment?
It seems like it's something,
Yeah.
Okay, so truly a visceral poem.
Experience.
One of my favorites. I thought instantly, and I've done this with students where I've shown them this next piece. This is a song called The Waitress by Tori, Amos. So we're going to play a clip, and then we'll come back.
She's material, longer than I. You know that's an act of kindness. But I believe in peace. I believe in peace. Peace. I believe in peace. But I believe in peace. I believe in peace. Peace. I believe in peace. Yeah. I want to kill this killing wish. There are too many stars and not enough sky. Oh, boys all think she is living kindness. Ask a fellow we trust. Ask a fellow we trust.
All right, that was a clip from Tori Amos's The Waitress. I've actually seen that performed live. It is terrifying. In person. There are many, many versions of that live on and sometimes it goes on for like 9 minutes.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
is pretty
It
brutal.
is terrifying.
Yes.
Terrifying in what way?
Because it gets so loud and it's echoey, right? And her passion in singing.
Right, and she's thrashing
She's
around.
very
and into
angry.
it, yeah.
Yes. So I mean the lyrics. So I want to kill this waitress. She's worked here a year longer than I. If I did it fast, that's an act of kindness, right? Like, hey, I want to kill her, and I'll just do it quickly because then she won't suffer.
Right.
And then you get into the horrific. I believe in peace. I believe in peace. Right. She's trying to convince herself.
Not to
I'm
do
peaceful.
it.
I'm peaceful.
Yes,
right. Don't do it. And
right.
she's swearing. Right. She's getting so worked
It's
up.
like a mantra.
And then here's what got me at the end. I want to kill this killing wish. There are too many stars and not enough sky. Boys all think she's living kindness. Ask a fellow waitress. So there it is, right? The waitress is kind of a two-faced figure because she's nice to the boys, but she's mean to the other waitresses.
Yeah.
Right. So then you think all this intrigue, what's going on
Yeah. Why
behind
is
the
she
scenes,
behaving?
right?
Yeah. Why is she doing this?
Yeah. So she's mean. She's nice to the boys to get the tips.
Right.
But then she's just a
nasty to
terrible
everybody else,
person, right? So that made me think, for the first time when I kind of really started thinking about this, is the landlady really gendered? I mean, like, clearly part of Tori Amos's song is about how women treat each other,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they're nice to the guys, but they're mean to the women. But the landlady, we don't even know for sure if the narrator is a female.
That's
Right,
a good
it could be
point.
a male
That's
figure.
a good point. Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, well that's an interesting, one is clearly about women mistreating each other maybe, and then the other, I've read a quote somewhere about Margaret Atwood and how she's really good at portraying women's cruelty to each other,
Yeah.
right? And how even though they're women and they're supposed to maybe be working together, it doesn't always work out that way, of course,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's kind of where I started going with that. I don't know. What do you think of Tori Amos? And
It's yes, it is an experience. I mean, it is, like you said, visceral, physical. I remember her from back in the day, and I just remember that my biggest first impression of her was how she just kind of like rolls all over the piano,
Right.
and yet she's still playing at the same time. And then she'll just make these weird, like at the end, she's making all these guttural sounds
Right.
and stuff, and it almost sounds like a murder is being committed, like
Right.
on stage,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So she's acting. I guess she's like acting out physically what this would be like to do this to someone,
Right. And
or
the
she's
torment-
resisting. Yeah, I couldn't
right.
tell. Is she resisting, and that's why she's so tormented, or is
Right.
it because she's acting on it?
right, well, she believes in peace,
Right.
and she wants to kill the killing wish,
Yeah, she doesn't
but she
want
just can't.
to. Be,
Right? It's like
she's so nasty.
Raskolnikov in Crime and Punishment. I don't want to
can't
kill the
do
old
it.
lady, but I have to, right?
Right.
Or I guess, right? So then I thought, I was trying to think of a piece of art to go with it, of Barbara Kruger, and I came up with this piece. We'll put it on the screen here. And it's very simple, right, as most of her works are. It looks very much like her other works. Who's the fairest of them all? And I guess I just made I don't know, what do you see? Do you see any
I
connections?
thought you were going to say, I'm the first of them, and I just realized it's me.
I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I just, you know what, I look at this as, and if we're going to go with gender, and I think of just how foreign it can be for guys to understand like what women go through. I mean, just this base, you know, self-esteem. I mean, this competition. I was actually talking about this with one of my classes recently about how women dress for each other. They don't dress necessarily for the date that they're with or the guy they're with. They're dressing to get a compliment from another woman or to be noticed by other women. And it was funny because my female students were talking about how stressed it makes them sometimes with other women. And I said, so if there were no women, women would be happy? And they're like, yeah, pretty much.
Oh, no. Well,
So I don't know. That's coming from my students, so that's my excuse for that comment. But what were you thinking?
I mean, I thought the same thing right away, but then I thought, who says the line, who's the fairest of them all? It's the stepmother. And it's meant as a kind of almost as an attack, right? Like the villain of the piece is the one who's asking this.
Who is the fairest of them all?
Right, and it kind of, again, sets up that competition, right, for who is beautiful, and like in The Waitress, who's going to get the tips.
Right, who's the nicest,
maybe,
quote unquote.
Right, and then
Yeah.
in The Landlady, but that I think The Landlady's slightly off because I
think it's a competition for life. It's a competition for living space, right?
in The Landlady, yeah.
I just feel she just feels totally intruded upon
Right.
by this woman, and
But
she
again, I
can't
guess like
get
the
away.
gender question.
Oh,
but I guess
if it is a male,
right.
narrator.
I don't think it would be an insult to describe a landlord as a slab of what is real solid as bacon. Right?
Why
I mean,
is that? Why is it okay for a guy to be you know
Right.
huge and
well, and then it made me
but-
think of the Kruger picture where she's, very slender and kind of not frail looking, but, gentle looking. She doesn't look like she's fierce, but that is a fierce question, right? So the
Yeah.
use of language, because the waitress, again, can put on that two-faced, looking nice for one group, but not to the other. She looks nice in Barbara Kruger's picture, but then she's asking a devious question.
Right, it just sets up competition right
Right,
away.
right.
And it could be shaming, even just to ask that question for some
Right.
people,
Right. So,
Great combo.
three
Great
pictures,
combo.
3 pieces about women maybe not being so friendly to other women. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed this episode.
All right, thanks for watching. Please join the conversation in the comments on YouTube or on Twitter at Trojan Poetry DGN. Also, check out our website at trojanpoetrydgn.blogspot.com.